Guys, what's going on? Dr. Frank here, founder of Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching, and I just wanted to make a brief video today talking to you guys about some mistakes that I personally made when I was trying to quit vaping and when I was trying to quit using nicotine products. Now, I'm making this video in hopes that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I made, and hopefully this creates a much easier quitting experience for you. That's what this channel is all about. For those of you that are new to the channel, we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content. So be sure to subscribe if you find this content valuable and ask questions. I always respond to the questions in the comments. Okay, so let's start with mistake number one. Don't fall for the simple tips and tricks. And I just made a video on this the other day, like literally 2 or 3 days ago, recommending some of these things. But I don't want you guys to get tied up in the notion that chewing gum or sucking on sunflower seeds or eating Jolly Ranchers is miraculously going to cure the vaping addiction or the nicotine addiction. So many people try these simple things and they'll chew gum for like 5 days straight, or they'll eat a bag of Jolly Ranchers until they're sick, and then after 5 days they just wind up relapsing on nicotine. I think when you do these things, one, you're taking something that you believe to be was a crutch, and you're just replacing it with another crutch. Now, yeah, gum, Jolly Ranchers, whatever, sunflower seeds, far less harmful than vaping products. But what I'm saying is, if that really worked, if people were really able to quit smoking and quit vaping just by picking up a pack of Trident gum, you'd have a lot more people not smoking and not vaping, because there's a lot of people out there that want to quit. And this creates two problems when you do these things, in my opinion. If they worked for you, let us know in the comments and tell us how that played out. But I think it creates a very weak mindset. The idea that this addiction, something that's been controlling your life for so long, something that's cost you so much money, maybe it's cost you relationships, maybe it's cost you your motivation, something that you've put so much time and energy into feeding, to think that something that simple is going to work, I think you're underestimating the power of addiction and you're setting yourself up for failure. And then eventually, after 5 or 6 days, when you get sick off of Jolly Ranchers or sick of Trident gum, you're just going to relapse. And then that leads to disappointment and feelings of hopelessness. Oh man, that didn't work. I'm not going to be able to do this. I tried and I failed. I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't tell you how many packs of Trident gum I chewed just to always wind up relapsing, or how many sugar-free hard candies I sucked on just to always wind up relapsing. I think it creates a very weak mindset. Again, that might be helpful for the first few days, and that's awesome. That's great if that helps you in the first few days, but long-term, I wouldn't plan on relying on that. So that's one major mistake that I made. Another major mistake that I made was lacking patience in the quitting process. There's like bees flying all around here, so if I get stung, this is going to become a really entertaining YouTube video. Be patient. The reality is, you've been addicted to nicotine or whatever the substance is for probably a very long period of time, if I had to guess. This addiction took time to build itself in your brain, in your blood. It's physically part of you now. And when you're getting rid of this addiction, I want you to be patient. I would quit and I would think, okay, I don't feel better yet. And I'd only be like 3 to 4 days in. I feel tired, I feel depressed, I feel a little more anxious. And I would get upset, and then I would wind up relapsing. Look, you got to get through the first 3 days. Those are usually the hardest, the first 3 to 5 days. Then you want to aim for the first 2 weeks, the first month, the first 3 months, and then from there you're aiming for a full year, and then continued sobriety beyond that year. The reality is, there's physiological changes that occur within your body when you quit this addiction, when you no longer have nicotine present in your system. And you're going to experience some withdrawal symptoms. You're going to experience some mood changes, some appetite changes, some disruptions in your sleep patterns. And the reality is, that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's okay. That's withdrawal. And if you follow our channel, you know that withdrawal is a sign of progress. It's addiction's last-ditch effort to try and suck you back in. So if you're experiencing withdrawal, it's a guaranteed sign of progress that you're winning, that you're beating this addiction. and be patient with it. CJ Kid, or CJ the Kid, his YouTube channel, he talks about marijuana withdrawal and when he quit vaping, and he describes it like having the flu. You're sick for a little bit, and that's okay because you're going to feel better, you're going to get better, but you need to be patient with the process. So be patient, don't rush the process. Another major mistake that I made was I didn't put any effort into setting sobriety goals for myself or changing my day-to-day habits or routines. So what do I mean by that? When you quit an addiction, you're depriving yourself of that dopamine that you were getting from that substance or that drug. And you have to start to partake in activities that are going to naturally rebuild or release dopamine in your body, okay? And these activities can be really simple things. Exercise, weight training, running, cardiovascular exercise, yoga, meditation, massage, osteopathic or chiropractic manipulation. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a chiropractor too. It's proven that those things release serotonin and dopamine. That's why people enjoy going to see a chiropractor, and the pain relief and everything else. But do things that naturally release dopamine. A simple Google search will pull up a list of things for you guys. Just type into Google, how can I naturally increase dopamine? How can I naturally get dopamine? And you guys will find some really simple solutions. But that was a major mistake I made. I quit, and then I would like spend time being depressed on my couch. I'd spend time being depressed in my room. You have to start to change up your day-to-day routines and implementing things that make you feel better. One of the things that I preach about here at Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching is I believe one of the highest quality sources of dopamine is working on your goals and working on your ambitions and working on your hobbies. I know for me, that's where I get the greatest source of joy, working on my YouTube channel, working on my job, something that I love doing. Start to put in some work to some stuff. And I wish I understood this. This was something I didn't understand. Active addiction takes a lot of work. Being addicted to vaping, being addicted to cigarettes takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of focus. And so many people say, I don't want to quit. It's too hard. You're already putting in the hard work to stay addicted to this substance. So wouldn't you rather put in the work to feeling better, getting more money in your bank account, rebuilding your relationships, and like creating a future for yourself that you want? That's something to get excited about. That's something to release dopamine over. So I want you guys to create a list of sobriety goals for yourself and some things that you can focus on. And I'm going to say that with a word of caution. And this is kind of the last major mistake that I made that I hope you guys don't make. Don't try and change everything at once, okay? When it comes to beating an addiction, look, you're going to start feeling good in the first 3 or 4 weeks, and you're going to try and take on the world. You're going to try and build your business and rebuild your relationship and get into the gym. And the reality is you're still going through some withdrawals. You're still going through some struggles maybe. And if you try and take on too much at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, you're probably going to relapse. Remember, your brain craves simplicity. So whatever you can do to make your life easier, to make your life simpler when you quit an addiction, I think is a really good thing. Now, I want you guys to be high achievers because most people who struggle with addiction are extremely high achievers. They have big goals. They have big dreams. And I want you guys to chase those things without the use of drugs and substances, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed in the process and wind up relapsing. Oh, that's another major mistake I made when I was quitting. Relapse. I don't want you to relapse. That's why I'm making these videos. I want you to succeed. But if you do relapse, don't beat yourself up. It sucks and it's unacceptable. It's 100% unacceptable. But I want you to get right back on that sobriety horse and start over right away again. You know, if someone's trying to lose weight and they lose, let's say 50 pounds and they gain 10 pounds back, they didn't throw the whole thing away. They didn't ruin the whole thing. They just had a minor setback. So I want you guys to focus on that, and I want you guys to like realize a relapse doesn't mean that you're going to throw in the towel and you're going to give up, because that's stupid. Quitting isn't for quitters. That didn't make any sense. Another mistake I made, I thought I had the mindset or the mentality that I was giving something up. And the reality is, when you're quitting an addiction, when you're quitting smoking, when you're quitting vaping, you're not giving anything up. It's about what you're gaining back in life. It's about all of the opportunities, all of the doors that are going to open for you. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is I want you to take 100% accountability for yourselves. And what do I mean by that? This addiction, it was yours, and you have to own that. Just like you're going to have to own your sobriety and your recovery from this substance. And it's all about accountability. And I have some really good news about accountability. I used to love blaming all of my problems on circumstances that I ran into in life, on other people. But the reality is, when you're 100% accountable for yourself, you are in control. You are in the driver's seat. And I think that creates a much more positive outlook on life and on recovery and on sobriety. Because when you're in control, it's up to you the direction that you're going to take this thing. It's up to you the direction that you're going to go in. So I hope this video makes sense. Follow me into the next video where I talk about some things that I just felt like always happened to me every time I was trying to quit vaping or trying to quit smoking. I'll see you guys in the next video.